Hello, Thursdays with Penny, my weekly interview with experts that I've deeply got to know. And that's really important to me because Thomas and I get asked quite a lot, who do you recommend who? It's a hard one, that, because unless I've consumed someone's products or services or really deeply got to know them, I'm always cautious about doing this. As you know, community is really, really important to us. And so we've got our business as personal group, and we've got my page, which some of you might be watching it from there, LinkedIn community, Twitter community. And I have to make sure that anybody that I do interview as an expert, I really have got to know deeply, as I said. So today I'm really, really excited because I have become really close to Sam Lindley, which has been one of my highlights of this year. It's been phenomenal, spending a lot of time with Sam and also hearing from some of her clients, which has been a real joy. And through that, I've learned a lot about Sam's values, her family values, her business values, her life, the world that Sam lives in. And so today I'm going to be asking Sam a number of questions. And if you're a very independent business person like I am and fight, and certainly realize that this was an overdone strength of mine, you will benefit greatly by listening to Sam and getting to know her. Because a lot of us independent business people, whether we're employed or we are working in an organization, we do find it very hard to maybe show our vulnerabilities and ask for help. And last year, when I had my little bit of crisis and I did finally ask for help, I can't believe how much that accelerated my life and helped me to achieve my definition of success. So I am a huge advocate of many, many experts around the subject of psychology and coaching, and just want everybody to have a better life and a better business. And who better to ask about that than Sam? So I'm going to kick off, Sam, because I want them to get to know you well as I can, but maybe in a very short period. So one of the things that I'm really interested in, that I know you help with established business owners, where they plateau, where they've worked hard and they get to a certain point and they can't get any further. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, the people that I see in my practice, typically I think they plateau at about 3 years. And this is because, in my experience, that when we start a business, everything is shiny, everything is new, we are excited, we are passionate, we are energetic, and the last thing we are going to be thinking about is anything other than real success. And that really is lovely, and I'm so pleased that we all have these experiences when we first start our business to look back on. So typically throughout those 3 years, we will take our business through infancy. We will build our brand, we'll build a client bank, we'll build a team around us, and we'll experience some highs and we'll experience some lows. We'll see some really great successes, and we'll have some challenges. And then all of a sudden, what once worked may not work any longer. And we can retreat and we can go into our comfort zone. And this is the point where a business will plateau. It's funny because a lot of people sit in front of me in my practice and say, Sam, I want to build a business to give me a lifestyle that I didn't have when I was growing up. I want to give my children what I didn't have. So for them, those 3 years is about the chase, and those 3 years is about building something. Typically, it's £1 million. That's the benchmark that everybody aims for. So they've got their million, they've got their big house, they've got their lovely cars, they have their lovely holiday, and what's left? And they lose touch with their why, and they lose touch with what it's all about. And typically that's when businesses plateau, I see.
Oh, that is phenomenal. So I imagine that there are millions of people in that position.
Yeah.
But I suppose in a way they lose their sense of purpose at that point, their why, as you say, but also it becomes just get up, repeat. And and maybe for some people that's enough. But I think to me, when I've listened to some of your clients and when I've got to know you, there are a vast number of people that come to you saying, how do I get to the next level? Sure. So what are some of it's hard to say that in a sort of 3 or 4 minutes, but what are some of the ways that you see people the way you help them get to that next level?
Well, I think what we do is we define their vision and we reconnect with their why, and that's often the first stage. So quite often, again, once somebody plateaus, they've lost their mojo.
Yeah.
And my role is to help them reconnect with that mojo and relight their fire. And I'll take them back, and I might even say to them that picture yourself with that key for the very first time. You know, whether that's a real key or not, but picture the first day of your business. How did that feel? And do you want to feel that way again? So we can, to get to the next level, I believe you need maybe some new skills. You maybe need to focus a little bit harder than what we have been doing. And we maybe need to take a few risks. So I think my role at this point is just to hold up that mirror and to ask the questions that we wouldn't feel comfortable with asking ourselves. Because we don't want to know the answers or because we don't want to face those answers. But once we have clarity on our vision, once we've relit the mojo, then we can support you, or coaching can support you in taking that next action. Because it's about action, isn't it? And we can have the best plans, we can have the brilliant vision, but unless we take that step and take action, we're not going to fulfill what we need to.
Yeah, I really get that. And I think it reignites their excitement about it. But I imagine, you know, one of the things I've loved that you talk about is how important, you don't want them necessarily to work even harder. You start looking at the processes of their systems, the way they lead, the way they delegate. Because I think a lot of people think that scaling a business means even more hours or even more hard work. No, which is it's a limiting belief, really. And I think when you talk in our mastermind with us all about the processes and the delegation part, that's obviously a really key part.
I think what I love about what I do at this point is when we've looked at systems and processes and we've looked at efficiencies and productivities, we've improved the bottom line, then it's about how can we get this business to work without you? Because the people that I work with are amazingly talented entrepreneurs. And I love to get them to a point where they can step back from their business and then start another one.
I love that.
Because that's then when they become into their own, you know, and that's amazing to watch. That's why I do what I do.
Yeah, I love that. And it's amazing how many people I know come to you and they've come to me saying, I just want to build the business up for exit. And I said, right, okay. So, and I know that's been a huge thing in the first part of this century, you know, since the big .com thing, really, everybody's thought it's all about the exit and the share price. And, but actually now, if you exit and you put that money on deposit, you're actually not going to get much money back. It's not going to last you long. Whereas to build a business that you can just work on, it's phenomenal, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think that's what the millennials are teaching us about side hustles. And, you know, we don't have to be amazing at just one thing. We can do more than one thing. So that's incredible to see.
Yeah, because there is a formula to business, even though there's no cookie cutter to the person that runs a business, because we've all got vulnerabilities and different skills and different experiences and different aspirations, etc. So I don't think there's a cookie cutter that you can have on a person, but it's amazing the formulas in a business that some people are just missing, aren't they? So I love that. So I know one of the things you do is these masterminds, which I'm a big fan of. And I love the way you decided to get involved in a mastermind yourself, but I love the way that you run your masterminds. So why do you particularly enjoy doing it that way, as well as the one-to-one coaching you do?
Well, we both have a real passion for our mastermind groups, and I love that. In fact, I wrote a blog yesterday that said if I could bottle up and sell the feeling that we all have when we leave our mastermind groups, I would be a millionaire for sure. Because, I mean, excuse the pun, but I feel like when we've spent a day with real other entrepreneurs, we are on cloud nine.
Yes, great fun. That's Sam's company name for anybody listening.
So, for me, that's the feeling that I get, and that's the feeling that I want my masterminders to leave with after they spend the day with my group, and that's why I do it. I mean, it's about a real level of introspection that some of us are not comfortable with, but we form that bond with each other, that trust with each other, that we're happy to have that introspection, we're happy to have that mirror up once again. I'm humbled at the people that belong to my mastermind group and the talent in that room, and watching them evolve together. I mean, we are quite a new group at the moment, but already feedback I've had is that we are bonding. You know, we are strangers that have met and bonded really quickly. It's powerful. It's focus. It's accountability. It's confidence, clarity. It's a real powerful mix of emotions and talents.
Yeah, and I mean, I know you feel that this humble word is really important, I think, because my masterminds are the masterminds. Whereas I know a lot of people run a mastermind where they're the guru and listen to me and I'm the guru, and I just don't feel that way. I think, you know, now when you, I bet you're seeing the skills that your masterminds have, the way that they can pass that to one another. But also, I think it helps you benchmark a bit yourself, because we cannot constantly look over our shoulder or look online and think, God, why am I finding business a bit tough? And then when you listen to people's roller coasters, you realise we're all in it together, don't you? And you benchmark a bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. We've all got the same challenges, haven't we? We just experience them at different times. And we've all got our own unique skills, and we can't be good at everything. And it's great to see that, we're not alone in that field. You know, I always say that I'm a little bit of a technophobe, but being in your mastermind group has made me look at other innovations and look at other technologies. And, you know, that's the power of having people there supporting you and that really have your back. And how often can you say in business anyway, people really have your back?
Yeah, that's so true. I agree with you on that. It's a beautiful thing to lead them, and a beautiful thing to be in them as well. So a little bit of self-indulgence, I suppose, here, but I really admire people who realise that personal development they want to give others and business is something that they also need to do for themselves. And as I said at the beginning of my interview with you, I was far too independent, which I don't think came from a point of arrogance. I just think I didn't really understand how to go and get help. So I love the fact that you, as a mastermind leader and a phenomenal one, you joined our mastermind. So, you know, looking at this personally, so you're a sort of case study of somebody on a mastermind. What are you getting from it yourself?
Oh, this is so easy for me to answer. I think when I met you, Penny, and joined your group, I was looking at June 2020, because June 2020 is when Cloud9 will be 10.
Wow.
And I kept looking at that birthday, and I think I had a little bit of a business midlife crisis. I was incredibly proud of the business that I had only 6 months ago when I joined you, and the people that I work with, and nothing was wrong. I just knew that I had more in me, and I knew that I could achieve more, and I deserved more. And you actually said those words to me, you know, you deserve more than this. And you deserve to give yourself the chance. So what Mastermind has given me is what Carol Ann said to you actually in her coaching style. It's given me confidence and it's given me clarity. And they are two huge, great emotions. But I know for sure now, I know my future, the picture is clear. I know what I want for me. I know what I want for the business. And those 12 magnificent people in your group, plus yourself, Penny, and Thomas, have given me the confidence and belief that I can do that. And I think it's a little bit like throughout the month, I might lose a bit of momentum, and then it's you pick me up again and set me off. And it's incredibly powerful, and it's one of the best decisions I've made.
That is wonderful, because I think, you know, why I joined a mastermind once, and I think by being in a mastermind, you also end up having the empathy of the people that you're also the mastermind leader of, don't you? You know the position you're put in, because sometimes, you know, sometimes things are about timing, isn't it? Life is about timing.
Yeah.
And so sometimes we might bring an expert in like you do, and it's just not quite the right time, but it sits there, and then you've got enough time watching everyone else sitting back. I know in a mastermind, sometimes people are there to observe that month. They just think, I'm just going to watch and learn from everyone else.
Yes.
And so when you've experienced that yourself, you don't feel you need to put as much pressure on the people in your own mastermind when you run one, when they're in that stage.
Absolutely. It's and I've taken my learnings from being in your group and that definitely makes me a better facilitator of mine for those reasons you just said. Understanding their where they're sitting in their chairs and where I sit in your chairs, it's incredibly the same.
Brilliant. I love that. I love it that you've done that, and I love the way you contribute. So you've got your mastermind, and you open places for your mastermind twice a year, don't you?
Currently, yes.
Yeah, that's fantastic. When's your next one opening?
My next one is on the 13th of March 2020.
Absolutely fantastic. So now you're based in Colchester?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. So our masterminds are held at the stunning Milsom's Hotel, which is in Dedham, just on the borders of Essex and Suffolk, and it's beautiful.
Brilliant. So if anybody wants to, obviously they can get in touch with me for me to connect them to you, but if anybody wants to get in touch with you about joining your mastermind in March, what's the best way for them to do that?
So really, I've got a lovely website, cloud9mastermind.co.uk, and you can register your interest there. Brilliant. Or you can find me on WhatsApp, or email me, sam@cloud9businesscoaching.co.uk.
That's wonderful. And what I know, which I really love, is that you don't just sort of select the first group that contact you. It's about you really spending time with them. We talked about this, you know, spending time with them on the phone or over coffee and really making sure it's right for them. Which is really, I think, very ethical, and certainly the way I run mine. I think I love that. So nobody should be fearful of contacting you and applying, because I think it's brilliant that you are so much interested in their interest that you want to make sure it's right for them. So I know you don't do a hard sell on them, which is great.
No, not at all. No, I think we're both similar in I take my job in very seriously, making sure that the right people are in that group. The right level of skills, the right level of personalities. You know, it needs to work for everybody.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love that. Well, I am so proud to work with you, Sam. I am so proud that you're now in our business family. And I hope that a lot of people have listened to this and have become inspired to maybe in 2020 invest in their growth, because it's phenomenal, the return that people get on that investment. So thank you very much for this interview, Sam.
Thank you. It's been wonderful, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, wonderful. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Penny. Bye.